Well, welcome back. Welcome back to session 2 of this 4-part series on how to get yourself up and running as fast as possible using Writer's Toolbox. Really enjoyed session 1. We covered some great things from getting your first class underway right through to seeing the sorts of detailed analysis that's possible on Writer's Toolbox and the way that you can then target your teaching into particular students or groups of students on a range of writing indices. So today I'd like to look at 2 things. Firstly, I'd like to get actually into one of the writers and show you how the task can work inside a writer. And secondly, if we get time, well, why not let's have a go at building your very first task yourself on Writer's Toolbox. So without any further ado, let's do this. One of the interesting things that the IT team who work slavishly at this have built for us recently is this. I'm from the main dashboard now on Writer's Toolbox, and I want you please to follow along and go into the area called Tasks. That is the yellow icon with like the checkbox at the top of the screen. This is the place on Writer's Toolbox where as a teacher you will build all of your tasks, but also at any time it's like an inventory. It includes things that you build now, things that you have drafted and going to use at some time in the future, as well as all the tasks your students have done already. So let me explain firstly the icons. In the top row are tasks that you worked on most recently. That's a handy little way to get very quickly into things that you might be building for your students. Underneath we have an architecture that you can split between thumbnail versions like that, or list view. If you prefer the list view, there it is. If you prefer thumbnails, which I do, there they are. Let me just talk through the thumbnail and what that actually represents to you, just so you know. Draft there indicates on this particular task that as a teacher you've drafted it ready for use at some time in the future, but it has not gone out to any students. No classes, no one. Active means that task is presently in use by a classroom open to students. And you can see underneath, it's got let me just see one, archive, there we go, archive task down there. It's got the swimmer in the circle. You can see it was sent to class Writing 101 and there are 2 submissions. Also, Writer's Toolbox shows you the students who've actually submitted pieces of work to that. You can mark all your work inside here, and I'll show you that on another session. So let's just make a task. I think it's probably the easiest way to see our way through this, but we'll do it after I've shown you this. Sample tasks. Click on that folder, please. And inside it says tutorial. Can you please go inside this folder and click on the task itself? And here we have a screen that offers you the opportunity as a teacher to not only demonstrate or do a task live in front of students, but also edit this task for yourself. We built this folder especially for you. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to upload some sample tasks in here for you. If you like the task, you can then just quickly go edit, add your own flair, your own bit of information, your own class, send it off. It's all then built for you. If you want to actually see what it's like and experience it yourself as a student, you click demonstrate. So that's what I'd like you to do right now. Please click demonstrate. And the demonstrate button takes us immediately to see what the student will see. Always, this is the world the student sees from whatever you create. I really like this because in the classroom, this enables me to do 2 very useful things. Firstly is this. Do you know sometimes when you're working with students and it's so imperative that you model what it is you really want them to do? The demonstrate button allows you to do just that. You can model live, bring a task up on the board, model live for the students, and then they're off. But the second thing is what we're seeing here too is if you're ever uncertain, I've built this, I'm not quite sure, have I got all the elements there that I want the students to see, demonstrates it gives you the surety that what you built, they see. And this is it. So let's do this. So grab your pen, your cursor, your fast typing fingers, and let's do this. The task is built in our storyboard writer. I love storyboard. It gives you the ability to throw some images up here for the students. If you ever want to see them big, there they are. Very handy feature, by the way. If you want to throw in Writer's Toolbox detailed maps, infographics, because even though it might be small in that thumbnail image up top, they can blow it up and see in very detailed fashion huge infographics. That's great. So I'm going to close that down. If you were doing a narrative activity that demanded the students perhaps think through what is the sequence of events. See what I'm doing now? I can reorder these images to say, well, actually, that's my plot summary visually. And I've now done that as a student, and I can begin to work my way through the imagery and layer my story, my piece, one at a time. Non-fiction writing could be exactly the same. Think of those history tasks. You historians out there, I love you to bits. I didn't say you're the best teachers, I just said I love you to bits. You know you're the best teachers. No, sorry science, sorry English. But look, think source material. All the time we're using pictures and maps and fragments in history as source material. Throw them in Storyboard Writer and the students can work their way through source material. Yeah, good example. So look, what the student sees here in the green task tool is what you write as a teacher about this task. Here I've said, give me your best 6-sentence story based on these images. You must use all the keywords provided, I'll come to those in a second, plus, just because I think you're super-duper good, somewhere you need an M- sentence and a very short sentence. And finally, you can't enter this competition until your writing strength is over 75%. Well, I'll come to that in a second, but great. It says keywords. Right. Here's the keyword tool. And do you see that? You can move these tools anywhere on your dash. You can create, in effect, your own writing studio. Order it just the way you want, and it always remembers it. I have a list of words. I can put phrases in here too as a teacher that I want the student to use when they do the task. Now, that's kind of fun because if I was to start writing this story, and we'll just go, look, I'm going to start with the cafe, and we'll give this bloke a name, Nigel and Susan. Oh, sorry, Susan. Loved their new cafe business. Somehow, though, I've got to get these these keywords in. Well, Susan was, and I'm just going to go click on the keyword, wild, and it drops across. With excitement about the opportunity to at last show her cooking skills to the world. And that's great. But then I'm going to cast the next sentence. And it wants an M- sentence. So I go over here to the tools and I'll bring my simple sentence one a bit closer so you can see middle of the screen. Let's put the task over here. And now you can see the simple sentence. Let's pick M-. There it is. Look, steampunk girl. The M- is the long dash. Adds color and interest. You can use the M- sentence to change direction, narrator tense. Look, it's a lovely sentence style. You've got to try that. Teach your kids this. I want to see some examples. There are some examples. In fact, there's a whole bunch of them. Look, from different writers. So let's write this M- sentence. And I want you also just to be cognizant that somehow I'm going to get these keywords in. Nigel said to the carrier, Susan with wild excitement. Nigel, however, long dash. Now I need 3 words about Nigel. I'll get some help here, wait a second. 3 words about Nigel. Thoughtful. No, diligent. He looks a bit like an accountant, doesn't he? Diligent. Tidy. T-I-D-Y, that would be good. Norwegian. Did not share Susan's enthusiasm. Nigel was not good with a blender. And look what just happened. Did you see that? The lovely thing about keywords is that it does not matter. If you've got words and phrases that you particularly want your students to use, look at that. Whether they click on the button and it drops in, which is great for difficult words to spell, or if they just type it, Writer's Toolbox knows, and that word or phrase alters colour, and the student can immediately see they've just actually used one of those keywords in their story. Nigel was not good with a blender. And on the second day of their business, he mixed up the orange cake mix with their pet goldfish. So look, you can work your way through this. Let me show you before I hit the button, which I hope will astound you and make your teaching life a lot easier into the future. Look what's going on here on the screen. I have set the word limit in this task. So as I'm typing, look at this lovely little encouragement here, the word counter. See that? It's saying, keep going, keep going, before I hit the green on target, and then I can relax. Of course, I can see the word total down the bottom, but look, we found students love this. It's just a wonderful, visual, fun thing to do. It makes writing a game. Writing should be fun. Sentence spinner. Oh, I showed you this last week, but it's a load of fun. If I think, what next sentence should I write? I'm not sure the next style. I can hit spin, and it will select them for me. And it says, I've done an M dash. I'll have another go. And that comes, another M dash. Come on, you can do better than that. Third time lucky, and it's a ED start. See? You could do this all day. In fact, but here's a fun activity. As a teacher, this is sort of fun. Project Writer's Toolbox on your screen. Do this as a class activity and have one of the children come up and hit the spinner, and then the sentence that spins, everybody in the class has to do. They'll love it. Checklists. You can also build a checklist here of key things that you might want the student to remember as they do their writing task. You might pop in things here like, don't forget to remember your spelling, or don't forget to use all the keywords. Anything that you might have on your agenda as a teacher for things that particularly this week that you might want to pay attention toward. And there's more. Thesaurus. Yes, we have an inbuilt thesaurus in here that the students can use. You just click on a word, or type it in. Here we go. World, and up it comes. If I quite like that, or maybe wild. We'll do wild. Look. Susan was delirious, mad. Let's just go mad. And it just drops across. If I have the word highlighted in my script that I want to change, the thesaurus will drop that across immediately. Lastly, a feature I want to show you is hot tips. The hot tips in Writer's Toolbox differ to the various writing tools. If you're in the poetry tool, if you're in the report writer, you get different sorts of tips, helping you on your writing journey. Here, I can see everything from tips on writing style, how to write a title, that's quite useful, and up it comes with examples and suggestions how to do the very thing that I might like to know more about. Again, your students can use these, or you can make teaching episodes based around what some of these things are and say. You don't have to invent it as a teacher. It's here. There's the information about metaphors. There for you, done. Now you're writing away. And the student is trying as hard as they can to produce this piece of work. But you're busy in the classroom. So you say to them, look, I can't come and see it just yet. Can you please just click the feedback button? And I click feedback. And powerful artificial intelligence has analysed that piece of writing and said, those are the 3 things that I'm doing really well, and that's the thing I need to improve right now. It has not done this randomly, and let me talk to you for a minute about how this world works. This feedback is fully differentiated to the age of your student. It responds different from your youngest children to your oldest students. It knows you as a writer. In fact, it's reading everything you write all the time. And this piece of writing here, it's already worked out. It's already worked out the top 16 things I'm doing well and the 16 things I need to know to do better in the future. It's not overloading me either. It's not saying, Ian, you've got this massive list. What it now says is, given what I can see already, Ian, I know that actually improving the words per paragraph, I could tell you lots of things, but I know actually it's words per paragraph is going to elevate your writing ability fastest now. And it does this all the time. So that's what I said to you. You can even set the writing strength is 98%. Well, that wasn't bad first time, but it actually, right now, it thinks I'm year 7. So I could well have some work to go if I set this as my own age. But we don't have a 50-something year setting. But it allows them independently to not only self-edit, but to self-improve. And they're getting guided instruction, responding to their individualized learning needs. And then the student goes, well, that's great. Let's go straight back now to this tools thing and get some help on what I need to do next. And I'll take it further and I'll make this better and better. Then I'll have feedback again and just polish their skills all the time. This is what the world of Writer's Toolbox enables. It's there for your students 24/7, every hour in the classroom, every day of the week. And I can see now, sadly, our time is up, but tomorrow, don't wait, session 3, I should say, session 3, I will show you how to build not only this, but a range of tasks in your classroom so that you can make this just as exciting for your students, whatever type of writing they're doing. See you in session 3.